Remember, boys, everything's a hammer if you try really hard and believe in yourself. Perfect. I'm pretty nervous about this, to be honest with you guys, because you know, that baler, that thing's not new. It looks like it's a pretty decent used condition. I talked to the guy who I bought it from, and he said he had it checked out by the local New Holland dealer.
Well, hello, YouTube.
Train tracks of sketchiness, man.
We'll make it.
Yeah, I don't think the baler bottomed out. Made it this far. Semi-major to major problem here, YouTube. So we're just bailing along here and everything's going pretty good. Made it about half a turn around this field, and all of a sudden there's just this this loud bang, and you know, we start looking around here, we're like, what the heck is that? And that's when I see that this entire rear knotter assembly has just completely self-destructed. Called a buddy of mine on the phone who's really good with these balers and sent him a picture of it. And his diagnosis is more or less kind of what I was guessing just looking at this. Problem is, it's not really cutting the way it's supposed to. It's not cutting this twine. So what's happening is this twine, it's getting wrapped around this thing. And in fact, you can see it in there. And then it just completely, just, I guess, overstressed it. And this entire cast assembly just broke instantly from that. So that's a major, major problem. The one thing about this though is the people I bought this baler from, they're like, yeah, this thing wouldn't tie on the left side and this is the left knotter. So right before they sold it, they took it to their local New Holland dealer, and they spent about $1,600 having this new knotter put in. And then the very first time we take this thing out, it makes it halfway around a small field and completely self-destructs. Alright, so that was the end of my very first hay season. I invested all this money, bought all this equipment, you know, made connections, found property, and what happened is I got completely screwed by the New Holland dealer. So, like I said, the guy I bought this baler from, it had a slight issue. It would occasionally not tie on that left-hand side as discussed. So he, trying to be a you know, good honest seller and trying to do the right thing here, he's like, I want this thing to really be working right when I sell it to the next guy. Okay? So what he does is he takes it to his local New Holland dealer, and he tells them, you know, what's going on. He's like, you know, I want you to figure out what's going on, but do not spend any money on this, you know, until you talk to me first. So then the dealer just changed out that knotter assembly that you saw in the pictures there, that part of it, and did all kinds of other things to the baler, and basically held it hostage until he paid whatever insane amount of money they wanted for these small repairs, which he never even authorized in the first place. But, you know, he paid it because, you know, equipment dealers, that's just how they make money. That's the kind of thing they do. So then I get the thing. You see what happens in this video here. And man, that was a disaster. You know, I talked to the dealer, and you get this whole dog and pony show, smoke and mirrors. Oh, yeah, we'll do whatever to make things right. Hurt it. You know, just like that. I was incredibly naive at this point in my life, so I didn't really know what was going on. But here's what happened. Took it back out there, And same thing, you know, I told him, I was like, you know, just fix whatever's under warranty and, you know, don't do anything that costs me money on this. And they did the same exact thing to me. They did all kinds of stuff to it that I never authorized and then held the thing hostage until they got paid for it. Now, fortunately, because they didn't do the work properly and because, like I said, I never actually authorized it, I was able to dispute the charge with my credit card company, who looked at everything and then actually ruled in my favor. So I did ultimately get my money back. However, it was a disaster. They said they'd fix this in a reasonably short amount of time, and if memory serves, it was sitting there for like 2 or 3 months. They said it would be working right when I got the thing back, and obviously it was not. It was in horrible condition. I spent like a good 20 or 30 hours, if I had to guesstimate, trying to get this baler functional, and it never worked right. Ultimately, the conclusion that we came to is that it was defective when it left the factory. There's the plunger that rides on a series of rails in there, and they were built out of spec, and New Holland never fixed it, and obviously their dealers did not either. So yeah, I had this horrible experience with this thing. You know, I lost tens of thousands of dollars, you know, in lost income and in downtime and everything because of this incident, and got completely shafted by the New Holland dealer. And morons will say, well, you know, you just have one bad dealer. Well, you know, I actually talked to New Holland about this before I got the, you know, the money back through my credit card company. And I was like, hey, you know, can you guys intervene with this and actually make them stand behind their work and actually make them fix this? And they just wouldn't. They wouldn't talk to me. They wouldn't, you know, reply to me. I could not contact anyone at that company. It's a scam. That's basically, this is how they make money, all right? They're complicit in this at best. That's just the way the equipment industry works. You know, one of the harder lessons I learned when I got into farming is I just naively assumed that farm equipment, it's kind of like, you know, something that would be built by the automotive industry or by the power tool industry. You know, like, you know, if you go buy a car and it doesn't work, you know, or, you know, let's say you have a car that's 5 years old, you take it to the dealer, and then, you know, and then it breaks or whatever, you can, you know, you can write to whoever the manufacturer is, and they'll be like, yeah, this reflects very poorly on us. They'll intervene, they'll talk to their dealer and be like, yeah, you guys actually need to fix this for the guy because, you know, you told him that you would and then you took his money and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the farm equipment industry doesn't work like that. Here's what I didn't know. The reason why farm equipment dealers exist, and they'll give you this whole wonderful speech about we are here to serve the agricultural community and blah, 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 and provide the highest value. No, none of that's true. Here's how this works. Okay, they exist for the sole purpose of extracting as much money out of you, the farmer, or the customer, as humanly possible while providing the bare minimum in return. That's how they make money, and the equipment manufacturers themselves know this, and they like it because that's how they sell stuff, and that's just how the business works. What I learned is never trust an equipment seller, from both this and a separate tractor engine failure related incident that regular viewers also remember from that summer. Yeah, you can't trust them. Basically, the other thing I learned is there's zero support available for any kind of mechanical repair on farm equipment. I mean, you literally have to do it all yourself in-house, or you have to find someone who's like independent and not related to equipment companies, you know, like a private mechanic or whatever, and just pay him to do it or whatever. Because, yeah, equipment dealers exist for the sole purpose of extracting money out of trusting, naive customers while providing nothing in return. And yeah, that was the true story of how my first ever hay season ended in complete disaster. And yeah, we don't take things to dealers anymore. Like I said, they're all like that, and the manufacturers are complicit. So yeah, that's the warning that nobody ever gave me. And yeah, that's the story.